It's Mike. I'm messing with music still. It's been way over 8 months since my last posting, and I apologize, but I've got a new job. I love it. It's taken all my energy, all my experience, all my travel, and I haven't had time to post videos, but I have had time to play with guitars, buy new things that play with guitars, and I have an awful lot of catching up to do. The most recent thing I've done is trying to improve the amplifier I carry with my Traveler guitar. You may have seen some of my Traveler guitar videos where I get interesting people out there in the world to play this guitar in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful scenery. It's fun to do those. But you need an amp that can make them sound good. And with this guitar, there's no preamp, so you're kind of limited in what you're going to get out of it. Just a quick history on that. I started off with a Marshall amp. Trying it with a Marshall amp. Didn't have much luck with that. Now this Marshall amp really only makes any sound at all when plugged in on the overdrive. If I didn't put it on overdrive, you wouldn't hear a thing. It's a nice little amp. All you're looking for is an amp to sit around the house and work with a guitar with a low ability for amplification like this one, no problem, right? This amp fits the bill for somebody. It's inexpensive, 9-volt battery in the back, and it's cheap and cheerful. Okay, it's nice. Tone is kind of tinny. Not being able to use it without the overdrive, it's forcing it in a forced state. Not what I want, right? I want to be able to have more versatility. So I went from that to this Aroma amp, kind of a funny name for it, but it's a great little amp. It's the Marshall is a 1-watt amp. This is a 2-watt amp, and the 2-watt amp puts out a great deal more power, and it has some really good sound. You will hear, for instance, last year when one of my first videos was in Oslo and down on the harbor, and we were outdoors down on the harbor, and I was holding this in my hand and recording, so the sound was going into my iPhone right close to the iPhone, so it was an easy way to do that. The guy who was playing it could just barely hear it because it was so far away, so there was problems with it. I've used it a lot of places, and hear how much louder that is, and clear. Now let's go up the scale. Nice and clear all the way up the scale. It's a great little amp. This has served me well, really has served me well. So, of course, always looking for something better. I went from this, well, actually, short stint with this Roland 5-watt amp, which sounds great, but it is heavy as a brick. I mean, it's really heavy. Great for at home. I use it for all sorts of things. It's a wonderful little amp. Good sound. I can pop it in just to show you what we get for sound out of it. Guitar. Takes a guitar and a mic input, which is nice. Could be a good performance amp. Hit the button. Go to 7 on the volume, right around there. And we'll get a nice clear sound out of it, I'm sure. Sound. I love playing with this amp at home. One of the reasons the Marshall just sits on a shelf somewhere. If I want to pull something out and just start playing, this Roland amp is great for it. And it is an amp that really can put out some sound too. Could even be a performance amp. I could take that out with me and perform in the streets if anyone in the streets wouldn't run away. But that brought me to the Spark Mini. Now, I bought a Spark 40, and you'll find a video about why I sold my Spark 40. I sold my Spark 40 so that I could buy a Spark Mini, because the Spark 40 didn't have battery. It was really heavy. It sounded great, but it didn't fit this bill for a traveling unit that I needed. Now, one of the things I've adapted, of course, is using wireless. But I'm going to unplug the wireless on this. I've used these wireless transmitters, receivers, and they've been great. That way I could be holding the amp and the guy could be playing the guitar, and we're not next to each other. But what I'm moving towards now is going direct and being closer to the guitar. So I would hang this over my shoulder and I'd play the guitar. And now with this, we have choices. You can have up to 4 different things programmed into it, and it will synthesize an amplifier setup, an entire effects setup. So you're setting up all sorts of pedals, and you can configure it so beautifully. It's all very graphical. You can see what you're doing, and I love it. I did a review on this. You can watch the review on the Mini. The same control mechanism will work on the Go as works on this Mini. But let's just have a quick listen to the difference in the sound. Wow, okay. I put this in a pub in Warrington, England, and I gave it to some guys, gave the guitar to some good players, and they were playing it, and it was filling that entire pub up. I mean, I had it cranked, I had it all the way up, but it was filling the pub up, and as the pub filled up with people, they could all still hear the sound. It did not absorb it all. This is a powerful 10-watt amp. It's awesome. It really is. Why would I want to give that up? Well, one thing is lithium batteries. So officially, I cannot put this in my luggage. I have to carry this in my backpack on the plane, and I'm blowing out my shoulders holding this thing in my backpack, okay? So even though it's very compact and it's an amazing amp, I was looking for something just a little more like the Aroma in size, but with the power and control that I got from the Mini. Well, I ordered the Go. So this is the Go. It comes with this grill, or you can have a black grill, and the black grill comes with it. So you've got the choice of whichever grill you'd like. I figured out a way to put this on my strap. It comes with this little strap, and the little strap I put into the adjustment piece of the strap. It holds it down there like this. Then I take the 18-inch cord and I plug it in, and that holds it right alongside me, so I can play and the music's coming from me. So when I hand this to somebody and set them up, they'll be playing and they'll feel like their guitar is making the noise, making the sound, and putting it out there. So let me hit the button on this one. And make sure it's on the right. Oh, turn it on, make sure it's on. So let's hear what this sounds like. And what have we got it cranked? I've got it turned all the way up. Now, on top of that, okay, surfer sound, right? On top of that, much softer acoustic sound. On top of that, all these different sounds that you can put together. And the Spark, the Positive Grid app is amazing. Having both of these guitars, having both of these amps is great. And I never can get enough, can I? So, what if I take this wireless, I turn it on, I stick it in here, and I put this here, turn this on. What if I do that, and then I take this with a splitter, I've got this splitter, and I stick one of these in here, and I stick one of these in here, I turn this one on. You need to turn it on. Now what are we going to get? Both of them. So from the player, like he was playing guitar, like you can hear his guitar making the sound. This across the room, filling the backfill with all the sound you could ever want and filling up that pub in England again. So I went to fix my problem, which was I had too heavy an amp to carry around with me, and I wanted something smaller. Now I've got something smaller, and I figured out how to put them both together. So I've got the same problem I had before, but man, it's gonna sound great. So stick with me while we go on the road with the Traveler guitar and the Spark Mini and the Spark Go as a team. Should be fun. Keep messing with music, folks. We'll catch you on the other side.